So a lot of people have been asking me about my tomato plants, and I want to show you a couple of things. This is what a regular tomato plant would look like if you did nothing else except to put it into the soil as you got it from the store. Now this particular one just grew by itself because I must have thrown a tomato last year, but you can see it's getting a few tomatoes, but it's kind of late in the season. It's the beginning of September, so the growing season is almost over. But if you do a couple of things, this is what you get. These are the ones I bought from a regular store. I think it was maybe Walmart or Myers. I don't really care. It doesn't matter that much as long as you do a couple of things to make them grow better. The one you see in the middle as a side thing is dying because I planted all of them a little too early, a couple of weeks probably, so they were damaged by frost. This one still gave me like a dozen or a little more, a few more tomatoes, but the rest of them recovered. Like this one here, they recovered pretty well. These posts are about 8 foot tall, so the plant's now about 9 foot tall, and it's been getting me a good crop of tomatoes. This is after we've been harvesting it for a couple of months now, and it's again full of fruit. There are tomatoes everywhere. I'm gonna pick them out, but I just wanted to give you an overview of what you should be getting from your plants if you do a couple of things right. So there's only a couple of things really, and I stumbled upon them by accident. Because I'm cheap, I built this planter myself. That's one thing that you need, because you want to increase the depth of the soil that the plant lives in. Now if we just planted it here, you'll probably find there's about 6 inches of soil, and then there's hard clay below it. So by doing this, you're adding another foot of soil. The soil itself, I don't use Miracle-Gro or anything like that. I just pick up the leaves that fall from my neighbor's tree, and I had a few trees here myself, but I cut them down. So I pick up the trees with my lawnmower that grinds them into smaller pieces also. So at the end of fall, once the leaves are dried up, I run my lawnmower over it. It's a bagging mower, so I just collect up the ground up pieces of leaves in my lawnmower, and I dump them into here. This is at the end of fall, so probably around October or November time I do this, and then I cover it up with grass cuttings. Grass cuttings are free. I have a whole mound of them way at the back of the shed there, and that's it. I just cover them. The ground up leaves, I've filled this thing up right up to the top. You can see it has gone down quite a bit, like 3 or 4 inches. It sinks as the leaves turn into really good soil. So I fill it all the way to the top, cover it with grass, leave it to cook over the winter. By the time it goes through winter, comes down to April or May, the soil has turned dark and rich. You put the plants in there, this is what you get. That's pretty much it. That, and you need water. If it dries up, that harms the plant. So I have a soaker hose that you can see right now. It's kind of a little bit wet. It's not kind of dripping. It's not saturating the soil. You can see the soil is pretty dry, and that's it. You start with some leaves, you give it water, you get this. End of story.